My name is Haven, and I played this character in Moongarden. And some people did a review on the movie, and I'm mad at them because they did an awful job. And I'm going to review that video with you so that I can point out every single thing they did wrong, so that they could see this video and be like, yeah, we shouldn't have said that. So, let's get into the video. Okay, first of all, what the heck does this have to do with a dark fantasy movie? Okay, get back to the video, please. I can't watch this.
That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're...
That's Nick, and that's Joseph. Wow, I very much care. I don't. I really don't care. Just get on.
to talk about Moongarden, which is the sophomore film directed by Ryan
Slay, that's me. Just slay, I know. I brought the house down, slay.
and Stevens Harris, which premiered at the 2022 Dance with Films Festival. It is being released courtesy of Oscilloscope on May 19th, 2023.
Ryan's first film?
Second, sophomore.
No, what was his first film?
Something called Virus X from 2010 that I don't believe is well regarded.
Was not well regarded? Are you insulting my dad?
He has worked as an editor on many other film productions, including another Skin to Sound thematic, the Halle Berry-led Moonfall.
Oh. The story, a comatose 5-year-old girl journeys through an industrial wonderland to find her way back to consciousness. That's basically
it. That's basically it, Mustache Man? No, that's not it. No. No! It's like a dark fantasy wonderland thing. Like, oh my gosh, who are you?
She does wake up from the coma, and she gets into a coma because she falls down some stairs and hits her head. Overall, I was impressed by the visuals.
This seemed like if Tim Burton was now operating without any money, is how this film...
And if you mix Wizard of Oz with Insidious, and then Skinamarink.
If that's how you feel about it, Mustache Man, then that's how you feel about it. But to me, it's an Alice in Wonderland dark fantasy where she goes into a coma and she's trying to find her way out, and it's very beautiful and dark and amazing.
It reminded me of all of those films about a child being transported, like Labyrinth,
Pinocchio? I'm not going into a whale's mouth. What the heck?
Even going on kind of an epic journey, if you will, with that's related to events that have happened in their life.
It feels like a lot of things. Like watching it, I was it's reminiscent of a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I do feel like the visuals are what leads this film.
The production design is
more than the story. Yeah. So this little girl, she's 5.
She's Emma. She's played by Haven Lee Harris.
That's my name. That's my name. Say it louder.
And she previously played the same character in his 2017 short, Every Dream is a Child with Teeth. So she was even younger in that.
Oh, wow. I was impressed by this little girl. She's she's carrying this movie.
Yes, I am. It's freezing. It's very cold. I carried the movie because I slay.
Oh, for sure.
And, I can only imagine, to direct a small kid. Did
this man just call me a small kid? I bet he's 4'11".
To do so much. It's impressive.
I agree. It makes sense that she was in the short, so I'm sure that they're comfortable working together.
Comfortable working together? He's my dad. Did you seriously not read the last name? Haven Lee Harris and Ryan Stevens Harris. We're family.
So how they, how you get a child's performance is different than an adult's. So that...
I don't agree with that. I think that they're the same. They just are talented.
How they were able to motivate her and get cute.
If we're talking about motivating, then let's give a shout out to my mom who gave me toys because I love her so much and she did so much on the film.
No, and the fall down the stairs, I think it makes sense that he's an editor because I thought that was edited well.
Yeah.
It was edited well, and I hit my foot so hard I couldn't feel it for days.
Okay, so her parents are played by...
Augie Duke and Brian Davis. I'm familiar with Mr. Davis's work.
So the opening of the film is the mom is like trying to escape, like in the mid, like sleeping with the enemy. She grabs the daughter, gets into the car, and it's like, okay, we gotta go. And then
She is taking me to go see the sunrise.
so of course as the audience we're like, oh, she's in an abusive relationship.
Just because she brought me into a car? We're jumping to an abusive relationship? Who are these people?
And she's finally leaving. But as she's in the car in the garage, before she puts that thing in reverse and backs out, she starts to break down and cry. And then who busts into the garage? Her husband.
And she didn't lock the doors to the car.
So he snatches the keys, snatches the kid, and goes back inside, and then they start arguing. But it becomes very clear, to me at least, you can concur, that I don't think this was so much an abusive relationship. I think that the mom has like mental health issues.
Mental health issues? I think that you have mental health issues. What are you talking about? She does not. I bet you haven't even watched the movie. You're just taking inspiration off of pictures because you don't know what to do with your lives.
I think that her husband was no longer able to give her what she needed, i.e. he had some busy job working from home and then was additionally working on his novel and thus had no time for her, and she didn't like that.
So they're arguing, and then the daughter gets up out of bed and is telling them like, stop this, and then she storms off and slips on like a toy, and that's why she falls down the stairs. So, okay, my first note was, I'm a little confused. So throughout because almost the entire film is this little girl in the coma. And so it's like her visions of what's happening, like from a child's mind. We also get, because she's actually laying in a hospital bed, right? So we can hear kind of like
paramedics.
Yeah, you hear like in the background as this little girl's navigating this fantasy land, like her parents, the doctors talking about her. But the mom, like, it makes sense to me that there are some scary things in this young girl's life that affect her dream state, right? But I think the mom, the way she's styled, first of all, she's definitely going on my 2023 list for worst hair. She has like this bob.
Have you freaking seen your hair? Your hair looks like a donkey.
With short bangs. And then in some light, it looks like she's blonde with like copper lowlights. And then in some light, it looks like she's just like strawberry blonde. It looks terrible. And then her makeup's garish.
I don't know why she insists on having, or somebody insisted on having her this blue eyeliner in every scene.
So
at least Brian Davis, we're showing like a fluctuation in time period, so facial hair changes. Like
they actually do well with him, although like they do make the dad look very different from flashback to present. But then the problem is the little girl is the same. So, but the mom.
I can't go back in time. Stop insulting the movie.
I don't know if they were trying to demonstrate that maybe she's, mentally ill.
I think so. Well,
can you stop it with the mentally ill? You're just jumping to conclusions. She's obviously lonely.
She doesn't recognize that her face structure doesn't really support that haircut either. But she to me looked like, immediately I'm like, oh, a frazzled Radha Mitchell or Fairuza Balk.
Yeah.
And not in a way that...
Bro, you're bald. Just look at him.
Also is kind of monotonous because it's pretty one note. She just seems... She needs some help that is not being provided at home.
So we learn some things about this family as we go through the coma because little things happen. So the main thing propelling the girl in her fantasy state, or whatever they're calling it, her industrial wonderland, is that...
Oh yeah, Alice in Wonderland's another reference.
Yes, is that she meets a person, this man playing, I think, a piano in her wonderland, and she says, I need to call my parents. Okay, well, you can't do that here, but I really need to call my parents. Well, the only way to do that is you have to go up high.
And he gives her a radio, right?
He gives her a radio, and then that's how she's sort of listening and communicating. And so her journey in this wonderland is that she needs to get up high, and she meets a couple people who help her, including a woman at the end who I actually thought was probably my favorite character.
Princess?
The one with the British accent? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Of course,
Yes, you can't call her by her name. You just have to call her British accent girl.
it has to be like a villain or a scary thing. So there's this creature that kind of looks like, what's the like superhero movie that has Patrick Wilson and there's a character with
Watchmen?
Yes, and there's a character with the wrapped face that like his mouth.
Isn't that Jackie Earle Haley?
Yes, that whatever that character is.
Rorschach?
Rorschach. This character looks like Rorschach.
I think he looks like the void in distant space.
That its face is a hole and it takes out its teeth all the time.
And you see it tear out the hole, which what he's able to accomplish with the effects and the production
Is
think
impressive.
are impressive. And it has these teeth that look like gnarled dentures that are just kind of floating, free floating in the center of this hole of a face.
It looked really cool.
It did. So this creature's chasing her. But I think my favorite scene of the film is this animated sequence where we are introduced to this character of the princess and these
My dad drew that by hand. And also, can you please call her by Princess Maria?
this three-headed red portrait where this woman is narrating this story to this little girl about this fairy tale about this woman who's the king and queen die and she's left alone without joy, and so she steals all the joy from the children in the kingdom, and that was pretty creepy.
Yeah. My final note is, I think, getting back to the mom, she likes to sing to her daughter, and she sings that song Without You.
Harry Nelson's.
And it's not music to my ears, and it's repetitive.
I officially hate you forever.
So I felt like that was a little heavy-handed. Overall, though, I would recommend this movie because I think the visuals are very impressive.
It's also, if you listen to the lyrics, and kind of a weird
Song for a mom to sing her daughter. But there are deficiencies. While I'm very impressed by the young girl, that's a lot of acting for a kid to do, and
I can handle the acting. Just leave it to me. Yeah.
do feel like there are times when it feels like, oh, they really had to work to get this shot done. Maybe
That scene that they're showing, it was in the pouring rain. We had to build that by hand, and it was in an abandoned castle.
I found the mom kind of distracting.
I think the mother's
The mother was very fun to work with. I have no idea who you are, but shut up about the mom.
performance is it's not that the actor is bad. I think that there needed to be something allowing for some dimension from her.
And while this film references or is reminiscent of a lot of really cool stuff, I don't feel like the wonderland that's created is that sort of magical or haunting, or it looks cool, but I was more impressed with how everything looked than what I was feeling and what was happening.
It looked really good, and I think that animated scene really goes a long way.
I can't watch this anymore. I'm cutting it short. And also, they rated it 2.5 stars out of 5. No. Well, bye, guys.